Good morning. I am Karen Hsu Patterson, and I'm your worship associate this morning. Oh, thanks. As we settle in and gather, I want to ask, what brings you here today? Our worship theme this month is Awakening Curiosity. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition, which includes the shared values of pluralism and transformation, often invites us into wonder. Hi. One moment. He needed to know where I parked. So thinking of wonder. We might come with curiosity about each other, about the wider world, with curiosity about what it means to live a worthy and sacred life. We each come with our own memories and stories, some finished, some still unfolding. There's power in wonder, in curiosity, and in story. In story weaving and storytelling, we honor history and people and create ways to share meaning, cultures, and lessons. In the asking, in the seeking, in the listening, these are not insignificant actions. In many ways, these are holy acts. Shortly after my son Alex was born, in preparation for a child dedication ceremony, our minister at the time asked our family about our hopes for him. We gave a variety of answers, but I was really struck by what my father-in-law, Alex's grandfather, had said. Without hesitation, he smiled, his beautiful, gentle smile, and he said that he hoped for Alex to stay curious. He felt deeply that keeping a sense of curiosity would open his mind to imagination, learning, to wonder, to possibilities, and more. So I never mind when Alex asks, why? Albert Einstein said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning." Curiosity has its own reason for existence. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery each day. So, let us try to comprehend a little mystery. May our time together remind us that we are all part of an unfolding story. We come with curiosity and courage. May we gather in the gift of being alive together. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. Good morning. Are you this tall? I don't know what she said, but there. I am Kikanza Nuri-Robins, and I am delighted to be with you this morning. I am a consulting minister. I work in a number of different faith-based environments, and I am a member of this congregation. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal, progressive, religious movement that truly is inclusive and diverse, particularly in its people and their beliefs. So we are united in our commitment to justice and to building together a beloved community. And so if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been coming here all your life, welcome, welcome, welcome back. If this is where you are because you couldn't figure out what else to do with your Sunday morning, we're glad you're here too. We've got good coffee. I want to acknowledge and thank all of the people who contribute to the service. We have musicians who are extraordinarily gifted in so many ways, in their subtle humor and their lovely voices and their great creativity. If you came through the doors, then you saw our ushers and greeters. And when you go back here to our hall for the social hour, you will meet our kitchen team. And we have a sexton who always wants to be acknowledged and is never in the sanctuary. So let him know. Where's Tom? And we have a tech team. We see a couple of people in our tech team in the back corner, but the tech team is much larger than that, and they are largely invisible. They make sure that the slides work, that the slides are created, that the electricity is working. There's Tom. See, it's too late. That those who are watching and worshiping with us online are able to connect. They do so many things to make us look so good, and I am grateful for them. And then finally, our worship associate. And it warms my heart to know that we are the kind of church who can stop in the middle of the liturgy to acknowledge what a young child needs in that moment. Good on you, Mom. And so I light the chalice with these words. No, I give these words while somebody else lights the chalice. Okay. The telling of stories is a sacred act. Through it, we shape identity, we pass down truth, and we reveal the divine in the ordinary, however you define divine. And so we do not move forward until we acknowledge the land that we stand on. We remember ancestors and descendants, ours and the people that we know and the many people and cultures that we don't know. This land that we are on is not ours. It was loaned or purchased or stolen from others, people that we might know as Chumash or Tongva, Gabrielino. We have a responsibility to be good stewards of this land and to be the allies and advocates of the people who were here before us, the people who are known and unknown, with whom we share this space, and the people who will live here after us. We acknowledge the land and its peoples because we are part of them. Let us rise and sing together.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es la oración. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en la libertad, servir a la humanidad en comunión, así es como convenimos unos a otros.
I didn't acknowledge our fabulous Director of Religious Education. And your title is longer than that, but my brain is not that big. I didn't remember it all.
It's okay.
But she does a fabulous job, and oftentimes after you leave, it's when we say, wow, wasn't she great? She did a good job with the kids. So I want to say that now. She is so good.
Thank you. Gosh, now I'm blushing. But now is the time when we are all going to collect food donations for the Westside Food Bank. So I've got Alex and Emerson over here. Kieran's going to jump in. Maybe Cynthia could help us out too. And if you have a donation, if you can raise your hand and one of our helpers will come to collect that. I am so proud of, I think Alex and Emerson were both there, and Kieran, Cynthia, a whole big crew from UUSM was at the Westside Food Bank last week, packaging produce boxes that were going out to people who need healthy food. So we're putting our money where our mouth is in terms of doing service for the community and trying to model our values. So thank you all for those who were there, and thank you for everyone who supports the work that we do with Children and Youth RE. Yeah, it looks like we got some good amount of donations today, so thank you everyone who's bringing those in. And don't forget, we also always collect donations of pet food or other pet items that you can leave in a box that is in this little nook just to the rear of the sanctuary. Good job, Emerson. Thank you. We want to care for human and animal friends alike, so thank you for helping with that. All right, yeah, we do have a few more out there. I think Cynthia has some. This is great. Good job, everyone. And so now that we have collected some really good things that our friends at the Westside Food Bank are always asking for, I'm seeing things like beans and pasta sauce and peanut butter. These are all great things that can help sustain people who are in real need in our community. So thank you. And now I will meet you just over there on the steps for our time for all ages. Oh my goodness. Do you want to step up or grab a mic here? I know you carried so much. Was it heavy?
Not really.
Oh, nice. You're strong. Yeah, you're really strong.
Maybe something like, well, it's kind of like I got 1 decillion things.
Yeah, it looked like about 1 decillion to me. That was really good. Good job. Thank you, everyone, for bringing 1 decillion donations. So we're getting curious today, and today I was getting curious about gardening. Emerson, doesn't your mom like to garden? Is that something she likes to do?
Yeah, my mom's a master gardener.
Yeah, all right. So then she really knows her stuff. So then maybe you do too. So I was wondering, and anybody out there, you can raise your hands too, or Alex, if you have an idea. What are some things that plants in a garden need to be healthy and to grow?
They'll need water.
Yeah, water's really important for plants. Can you think of anything else? What else do plants need?
Soil.
Yeah, I heard that out there, as well as from Emerson. Soil. Alex, do you have? Oh, Alex wants a big mic. All right.
He usually says burp, so I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, he also clapped, which reminds me of thunder, which comes along with rain, right? So we rain for sun. Yes, of course, sun, very important. So lots, all these things that we need to keep a garden healthy. Do you have another idea?
And speaking of rain, it's actually raining right now.
Ooh, was it? Was it raining when you came in?
No, but it was raining in where I live, down in up in Valencia.
Yeah, we have such a big, sprawling community that sometimes there's different weather in different parts of it. So I like all these really great ideas about things that plants need, and it makes me think of how, so it makes me think of how a nun, a Christian nun, lived long, long ago. Her name was Hildegard. Anyone ever hear about Hildegard von Bingen? She was a real Renaissance woman even before the Renaissance began. She was a composer, something of a physician of the time, and knew a lot about nature. And she would look to nature and the wonder of all the beautiful green things around her to understand what plants needed to survive, but also what humans need as well. And so she thought that humans and plants. Oh, what kind of animal is that?
A roly-poly.
Oh, nice. I always see roly-polies in my garden.
I named him Roly.
That's a great name. Thank you, Emerson. And so Hildegard, she thought humans and plants alike were sustained by a power that she called greening. She turned green into a verb, greening. She said, greening is the natural driving force toward healing and wholeness, the vital power that sustains all life's greenness. So we humans, we need a lot of the same things plants need, right? What do we need that plants also need?
Food. Not like nutrients from the soil, but we do need real food. And sometimes plants actually give us the food.
Yeah, so we, just like plants, we rely on food, different kind of food. We also need clean water. We need a safe place to plant ourselves. And then Hildegard, she also tells us that we need some things that maybe the plants don't need in the same way, like compassion or community or creativity. Like, what else do you think, if you were going to do the gardening of your heart, what kind of things do you think would keep your heart happy and healthy?
Well, you could actually make houses for bugs with the plants you have.
That is true. And you know what? I bet that your mom would agree with you that working with nature and being in a garden or even building houses for bugs can be something that helps you have a healthy heart. What else do you think?
Well, speaking of houses for bugs, I made a bed for Rolly out of the bag that my grandma put him in and gave him to me. And she gave him to me on Valentine's Day. I mean, on Easter.
Oh, nice. Well, that is so nice, Emerson. And I think that tells us a few other things we need, right? Like you have creativity, you have love from your family. And so those are all things that we need to keep our hearts well gardened. Okay, one more thing. What do you have?
Also, Rolly's actually my new stuffy. I haven't got any other stuffies. And before I got him, I got the Wilka sisters who love him. And they have a fear, but Rolly doesn't. And the Wilka sisters have a fear, and that is that they're afraid of being separated.
Oh, you have such an amazing imagination. Do you want to hold up Rolly and show everybody what you have? Yeah, so there's Rolly. And I love how you're making stories about your toys, and that's so cool. And you're just such a great example of all the different things that we humans need to be gardening our hearts, using creativity, love, expression. I know sometimes I need rest. I like listening to music. How about you, Cynthia?
You know what really gardens my heart? Coming to church.
Yes, thank you. Me too, because I love being around all these people that we get to share our values with and share our struggles with to keep living and growing together. So why don't we sing Go Now in Peace, And why don't you guys take off with Cynthia and Kieran, and I'll be right behind you. There's something I wanted to add after the children left. I wrote this lesson about gardens before the public was aware of this mini Chernobyl that is brewing in Garden Grove. And because of the gravity of that story, you might not have heard about the oil spill that also happened in East LA this week. And I just felt that I can't stand here and teach little garden metaphors when the garden of our earth is being destroyed. And I just feel compelled to say that if we believe that children who are privileged enough to live in Santa Monica and West LA will not become victims of the same crimes that harm children in East LA or in East Palestine, Ohio, or in Palestine overseas, then we are delusionally mistaken. And the impotent liberalism of good intentions is powerless to stop this war economy that causes destruction over and over and over again. And if all of us gathered here don't do something meaningful about it by divesting our labor and our financial investments and our political loyalty to warmongers and war profiteers, then nothing is going to change. And I say this out of concern for children everywhere in the world and for our children here, that they would not have to face, it's getting closer and closer to our front doors, and let's not wait until it's at our door to do something about it. So that's just all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Told you she was great. We have great parents in this congregation. One of the first times I sat with the kids, a very vocal child who is now in her 20s said, "I bet you wonder how I got like this." And she credited her parents. And so you may be wondering how Emerson got like that. Let's see his dad. Come on, stand up. Because one of the pillars of this congregation. Okay.
Ad-libs are fun. Where are we? Announcements. We're doing announcements. So, announcements. The first announcement, as usual, is we ask that you silence your cell phones if you haven't already done so. Have I done so? Let me check. Yes. Okay. We love to have visitors. We are always honored to welcome visitors. Please find out more about who and what we are all about at our monthly in-person visitor meetup, which is usually held after the first Sunday service each month. However, this coming June, the usual meetup date will need to be rescheduled, and you'll soon see why. So I encourage you to please watch your upcoming announcements for when the next visitor meetup is scheduled. We invite you to bring your questions and find out more about how you and so many others align with our UU values. And here's why next month's visitor meetup is rescheduled. Mark your calendars and plan to attend our annual congregational meeting on Sunday, June 7th, after service at 12:30. It's vital that we have a quorum in attendance to elect board members and vote on our annual budget. If you are an eligible voting member, you should have already received an email earlier this month with links to the agenda, nomination slate, and proposed budget. That email also has information about absentee and proxy voting if you can't attend in person. Please email the church office at admin@uusm.org for details. Lunch and childcare will be provided, and we hope to see you all on June 7th. Also, on June 7th, after service and before the annual meeting, so in between, we want to gather everyone together for a congregational group photo as we prepare to say goodbye to our developmental minister, Reverend Jeremiah. So please do plan to come to church on June 7th, both for a congregational group photo and for our annual meeting. On Saturday, May 30th, at 11 a.m., there will be a memorial service here in our sanctuary for longtime UUSM member and past board president Ron Crane. The service will be followed by a reception. And today, after service, you're invited to join the Women's Plus community for lunch and fellowship under the shade structure. And lastly, our church offices will be closed tomorrow, Monday, May 25th, in observance of Memorial Day. That was a lot of announcements. Thanks for sitting through those. We're coming up on a time to greet our neighbors. So as you meet with your neighbors, please keep an ear out for Ryan's piano cues, which will gently invite us back into worship and into our music for morning. So let's take some time and say hello to those nearby and say hello to someone you might not have met yet.
You're going to sing first.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is time for us to move forward with the service. Good morning, everyone. Our music for the morning is I Choose You by Jason Shelton. This is from a collection of his anthems called Cycles of Life that can be programmed throughout the year. And this one is speaking about commitment. I think it makes for a very lovely wedding song, but we'd like to share it with you this morning.
Each week, we invite you to share your joys and sorrows with us, and we will post them in the Thursday news blast that goes out. There were none posted for this week, and yet I know that there are joys and sorrows that are represented by you in this congregation. And so I invite you to lift up in however way is meaningful for you, the joys and sorrows that bring us together as community, and also that mark the path that we take on this journey called life. And so in the next few minutes, we will have some silent meditation. I am told that some people think that this is the very best part of the service. No accounting for taste. But let us come together in silence, remembering, listening, weeping, laughing, looking in the deep recesses of our hearts, reaching out beyond our neighborhoods into what's happening on our planet, in our nation, with our neighbors down the road, up the road. There is so much going on in the world that requires our collective energy, that requires our unified care, that requires us to work and move in harmony with one another. And so let us sit, joining our energy with those in this room and those that we do not know and cannot see. May it be so for all of us. Blessed be. I have spent my career listening to stories. As a consultant, I have to hear what's going on with my clients, what they think is going on with their employees, what's going on in their environment. As a chaplain, I've sat by the bedside of those who are dying, sat in the kitchen at the table with those who are caring for the dying. As a death doula, many, many stories from friends and family and those who are about to cross the threshold from this life to we don't know. As a spiritual director and as a minister, everywhere I go, I'm listening to stories. Everyone has stories. Everyone has stories. Most don't know what to do with their stories or don't have someone to tell their stories to. And so we see stories in abundance on Facebook and TikTok and social media. Everywhere we turn, people are telling us their stories. What are they saying? They're basically saying, listen, I matter. Because we become more of who we are when we are able to give voice to our stories. I matter. Yes, you do matter. and so do your stories. How you tell your stories, when you tell your stories, who listens to your stories, all of that matters. Stories are important, and what matters most is the meaning that we make of the stories that we tell and we hear. So we go to therapy, and we engage in mediation, and we have conflict resolution, and we talk with one another and tell stories as we make important decisions. Because the stories that we tell about how we got there, wherever there is, and how we got out of there, whatever that was, that makes a difference. The way you honor the stories of others matters. The space that you create for others to tell their stories also matters a great deal. Some people don't listen to other people's stories because they think that they don't agree with them. They think, I shouldn't listen to your story because I know you're wrong. They think, if you don't agree with me, then your story is going to discount my story. Or you might prove that I'm wrong. And sometimes I know I disagree, but I listen to honor the relationship. Just because you listen to someone's story doesn't mean that you think it's true or not true, because their story is their story. But you honor the relationship by listening to the story. Disagreement doesn't mean that your story doesn't count. Disagreement means that your story is different, or your story is from a different perspective, or your story has a different purpose. Disagreement doesn't mean dishonor. So when someone says to me, well, I guess we'll have to agree to disagree, I say, no, I don't want to agree to disagree. I want to listen until I understand. And I hope that you would listen to me and hear my story until you understand. To understand, not to judge, to comfort, not to fix, to learn something about yourself, about why I'm reacting so strongly, or why your version of the story that we share bothers me so much. When I tell you my story, I'm not asking for agreement, I'm asking for understanding. And the story that you tell and the words you use to tell your story creates the frame for understanding. The way you listen to the stories of others expands that frame for building relationships. And here's the thing, you can't see the frame if you are in the picture. You can't see the frame if you are in the picture. Someone has to reflect back to you what they hear in your story and in theirs, in their perception of your story. So a part of that frame or the context is timing and audience. Why now are we having the storytelling? And why them are we talking about the story? And why is this important to you today? Not why do they need to hear it. I can't tell you how many times she needed to hear what I had to say. No, she didn't. You needed to say it. She didn't need to hear it. And why did you need to say it? Because I was hurt. No one saw my pain. No one cared about me. Well, you know, friends, the truth is not everybody is going to care. Do you want me to say that one again? Everybody doesn't care about you. Everybody doesn't love me. Everybody doesn't care about you. We act like it. We try to. But, you know, it's a growth process. But see, others can be so wrapped up in their own pain, there may not be any room for yours. Some people think that they can persuade you to change your story or rewrite your story with facts. What they don't understand is that data loses to story every single time. It doesn't matter what you can prove with facts and information and charts, because sometimes the words don't even matter. The feelings matter. The subtext matters. Most of the time, rather than listening to the story with your head, you must listen to the story with your heart. What does the story mean to them? You want to hold the vessel for someone's story. That's a sacred task. Now, I'm not asking you to become the vessel for them to dump all their stuff into you, but just simply hold the vessel for them to tell their story. So this weekend, we're looking at Pentecost and Memorial Day and Hajj and Shavuot, and we ask a shared human question that is answered by many stories. What does it mean to give yourself, your voice, your body, your life, your time to something that's sacred and worthy? These days and seasons and rituals give us opportunities to tell and hear other stories that help us to expand the diversity of our communities and our understanding. When we look at the world beyond our understanding, we're invited to be blind and refuse to see what's there. We're invited to be dismissive and refuse to honor what we do see. We're invited to be puzzled and refuse to understand what we're seeing and hearing. We're invited to be judgmental and refuse to accept what we hear and the things that differ from our perceptions. We're also invited to be curious, to refuse to stop learning. And if that's true, then we're invited to acknowledge that we can only see what is behind our eyes. We can only see what's behind our eyes. And so stories help us to expand the picture of what you're seeing. Now, I had a stroke last July, and I just lost my page. Where did it go? Part of the stroke damage. It affected my visual perception. My eyes see, but my brain doesn't register everything that's in the picture. For example, sitting at an intersection as a passenger, I wondered why the driver didn't just go, because all I was seeing was an empty crosswalk. I thought that when you can't see that something is there, you experience a blank section in your field of vision. So like it's black right there, so there's something there that you can't see. That's not the way it works. The brain fills in the empty spaces. So the part of my brain that was supposed to see the pedestrians in the crosswalk is damaged. And as compensation, another part of my brain just filled in the empty space and everything was fine. So, which is why I haven't been driving for 10 months. To see the whole picture, I have to consciously and intentionally and habitually remind myself just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, whatever it is. My rehab has been teaching me to look differently, to move my eyes, to move my head, to turn my whole body to get a different perspective. The lesson for me has been that since I may not be seeing the whole picture, I must rely on my curiosity. So this morning, I invite you to be curious about the events that mark this time of year, Shavuot, Pentecost, Hajj, Memorial Day. How are they related, you might ask? 3 are religious, 1 is political, none of them are UU. Yeah, they are, because it's all spirit. All 4 are related to values, related to what one believes and how one lives into those beliefs. A shared experience of spirit creates community. And a basic need is to be part of a community. So let's look at how those 4 practices of acknowledgement might build a community and expand the view that is behind our eyes. Shavuot commemorates the day that God gave the Torah to Moses, the day the values were given. When God, in the movie, it's when Moses got the tablets with the 10 Commandments on it. That's Shavuot. Pentecost is the anointing of the disciples of Rabbi Joshua, and we talked about Rabbi Joshua some months ago, the one who became known as Jesus. So at Pentecost, which is 50 days after Easter, it's the same time as Shavuot, and the Christians just renamed it, the disciples gave voice to those same values in a language that everyone could understand. So there was an audience of people from all over. Everyone heard it in their own language. Pilgrimage, Hajj, changes those who undertake it. Hajj is an opportunity to give one's body for one's values, because the pilgrimage to Mecca is a holy one. It's a privilege, but it's also hard. It's not close. It's not easy. And so the Hajj gives the believers an opportunity to honor the Prophet and their values and connect with Muslims from all over the world in acts of unity and humility and piety. Memory demands responsibility. If you know it and you remember it, you've got a responsibility for it. Memorial Day, we remember those who gave their lives for their values, or someone else's values if they happen to be conscripted. It's a time to remember those who died in wars to protect the United States. Many volunteered, some served reluctantly, but all gave the ultimate sacrifice. So this is a weekend and the beginning of a season for hearing the stories that connect people to their values and to their communities. It's a time to be curious. It's a time to be curious about the people and the times that we know and that we don't know. And it's a time to be curious and to tell and retell the stories that memorialize who we are as a people, who we are in our diversity, who we are in our unity. So keep telling your stories, my friends. Take the time to listen to the stories. You don't have to listen to all of them, but gently tell people when you can and when you cannot listen. But as you are telling your stories, as you are listening to the stories of others, as you are expanding what you see behind your eyes, notice how you change.
I always appreciate Reverend Kikanza's wisdom. Thank you. Your offering today supports the many folks who make this congregation a home. The Faith in Action and Intersectional Anti-Racism and Anti-Oppression Commissions, our family ministry and cottage keepers, leadership development programs, pastoral care, worship associates, and so much more. Half of our Sunday offering this month is dedicated to Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice, or CLUE. As their website states, faith communities call people of all races, occupations, and identities together to consider their place in the world and their responsibilities to each other, including seeking justice for each other. All walks of life, all nations, and all colors cross in pews and pulpits. And when we speak to the outside world, we are rooted in the conviction that faith demands justice always and everywhere. CLUE has been a longtime partner with the congregation at UUSM, and their work supporting immigrant communities today is especially important. They bear witness to ICE and hold regular peace vigils. Please take a look at their website for more information. Thank you all for everything that you give of your money and of your time here at UUSM and beyond. The ushers are invited to come forward, and your offering will now be gratefully received.
Change us now for heaven's sake. Leave us not alone in hatred's wake. Show us how to love. Show us how to love. Show us how. Show us how to
Lives old and souls awake, rules we made we now must break, with our very own lives at stake. We must learn to love. We must learn to love. We must learn. We must learn Eyes open, shocked awake, march to learn from our mistakes, draw us closer in our heartache. Show us how to love. Show us how to love. Show us how. Show us how to love. Show us how to love. Show us how to love. Show us
Thank you so much. Please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn. This is called Love is at the Center. At the center there is love. From our new hymnal, Sing Out Love. So we're going to teach you this hymn. So let's just sing. We'll sing the first 4 lines and then I'll ask you to repeat. I believe in the power of giving. I believe in the power of change. I believe in the power of differences. I believe in love. I believe in the power of giving. I believe in the power of giving. I believe in the power of change. I believe in the power of differences. I believe in love. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. At the center there is your turn. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love believe in the power of justice.
I believe in the power
Of justice. I believe in the power of fairness. I believe in the web of life. I believe in love. Let's do that one more time. I believe in the power of justice. I believe in the power of justice. I believe in the power of fairness. I believe in the web of life. I believe in love. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. One more time. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. At the center there is
You may have a seat. It's a long benediction. And you're going to sit anyway because we're going to sit and listen to the postlude. So, my mother used to talk about a month of Sundays, and it usually was in the context of, oh, I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays, and it just simply meant a long time. Well, I've been hearing that in my head for a while, a month of Sundays. And I've decided that starting in July, I'm going to take a month of Sundays for intentional activities. I'm going to be visiting communities of spirit for ideas and for nurture to fill up my well, for preaching, I'll continue to preach, and for learning, just to see what I can learn. So that's 31 Sundays for adventure and exploration and inspiration and reflection. I did give myself permission not to do 31 consecutive Sundays because I'm just too old to have to break one more commitment. So I've given myself a year for this project. And what am I going to do with all my experiences? Who knows? I may have a book at the end of it, but who knows? I may write a song. Why should you care? You should care because I won't be here. I'll be here for most of June. I won't be here next week, but I'll be here after that. And I'll be here to officiate the service for Laura Carson Weiner in mid-July. But otherwise, I'll be here to host my Dining for Dollars presentation dinner, so you all are not off the hook for that. But otherwise, I won't be around. And so my time away is going to give you time to prepare for Reverend Diana, your new settled minister, and will give her space to get to know you and for everybody to figure out how you're going to do church together. So I have had a unique role here at UUSM because I came here and I started out as a member, but I'm also a minister, and I'm a consulting minister of this congregation and of other congregations. And so it is the protocol and the policy in churches and in most healthy organizations that when a new leader steps in, the old leaders step back and step away, and that's what I'm doing. I look forward to these next couple of weeks as we complete our end of the year work and we say our goodbyes. Today, however, is not goodbye. It is take good care, and I'll see you soon. So go in peace, my friends.